Witamy w Muzeum Polskim w Ameryce.
Welcome to the Polish Museum of America.
Dobry wieczór Państwu. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michelin Yaminski, and as this year's chairperson, it is an honor to welcome you to the 41st Gala of the Polish Museum of America. This night at the Polish Museum promises to enlighten, educate, and entertain you, as well as to encourage your continued support. The treasures not only find a home, but a voice in our museum. They tell their stories of a great nation and its people. Tonight, as we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Paderewski Room, the man himself, Ignacy Jan Paderewski, and his keepsakes, we recognize those who share his love of Poland and its legacy with our museum, with our communities, and with the world. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's program, for it was prepared as a labor of love and an artistic montage of knowledge and talent. And so, dear guests, whether you are a first-time visitor or a long-time friend, please join us as we introduce or reintroduce you to the crown jewel of the Polish-American community in Chicago, the Polish Museum of America.
Located in the historic Polish district near downtown Chicago is the Polish Museum of America, one of the oldest and largest ethnic museums in the United States. Founded in 1935 by the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, it is housed in their historic headquarters. The showpiece of the Polish Museum of America, where the public interacts with history and culture, is the Sabina P. Logisz Great Hall. Aside from being the primary exhibition area, it hosts openings, concerts, and recitals, as well as private and public events. Here, one can view the achievements of Poland and the Polish community in America. At the heart of the museum is the room dedicated to the beloved pianist, composer, and Prime Minister Ignacy Jan Paderewski. As Prime Minister, Paderewski signed the Versailles Peace Treaty, officially recognizing newly reborn Poland after World War I. The museum provides myriad educational opportunities, teaching young people the fascinating stories of the Polish and Polish-American past. The Hall of Transportation combines artifacts from two rooms of the Polish Pavilion, featuring the legendary history of the large, twin transatlantic liners, MS Piłsudski and MS Batory. The archives of the Polish Museum of America contain old documents from Polish, Polish-American, and worldwide sources. The library, established over 100 years ago, provides books in both Polish and English for the public, as well as special collections and rare books. Thanks to the generosity of its sponsors and friends, the Polish Museum of America has built up a repository of world-class art. The fine art featured in the Stephen and Elizabeth Ann Kuśmierczak Art Gallery encourages the imaginations of all visitors, old and young alike. This is a place where sculptures come to life, inspired and motivated by the folklore rooted in these figures. This is a place where art inspires art. A large part of the collection comes from the Polish Pavilion at the 1939 New York World's Fair, including this 2.5-story stained glass window. Among its many holdings are artifacts that are not found in any institution in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the mistress of ceremonies for tonight's gala, the beautiful and talented Elżbieta Sawczuk.
Thank you, Mrs. Jamiński, for your kind introduction, and greetings to all of our guests in person, online, and throughout the world. Welcome to the magnificent Sabina Logisz Great Hall of the Polish Museum of America, the site of today's gala. During my 18 years in the Polish media in Chicago, I frequented the Polish Museum of America, located in the headquarters of its founder, the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. I was always in awe of the artifacts, materials, and information it housed, and its knowledgeable staff. Now, as a director of marketing for the PRCUA, I have the opportunity to be present in this historical building daily, often overwhelmed with pride and emotion, but also concerned, because this is really up to us, up to each generation, to fulfill of the mission of our museum, to preserve the past for the benefit of the future. The gala, of which there have been 41 to date, is the main fundraiser for this institution. Together with ongoing grants, sustaining contributors, and generous sponsors like you, the mission of the Polish Museum of America will be ensured. If you have not already done so, please make a donation via www.polishmuseumofamerica.org. Thank you to those who already did. After all, what's the better way to celebrate Polish-American Heritage Month? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce this evening's official guests. Ms. Agata Grochowska, the new consul of the Republic of Poland in Chicago, working with Consul General Małgorzata Bąk-Guzik. From the Polish National Alliance, President Frank Spula. National Secretary Alicja Kuklińska. And National Treasurer Stephen Tokarski. From the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, President James Robaczewski, who is also a PMA chairman of the board. Vice President Michelin Jamiński, also a Vice President of the PMA Board and this year's Gala Chair. And Secretary Treasurer Agnieszka Bastrzyk. From the Polish Museum of America, President Richard Owsiany. Members of the PMA Board, Managing Director Małgorzata Kot, PMA staff and donors. From the Polish Slavic Federal Credit Union, Bogdan Ogórek, also PMA board member. And from the Legion of Young Polish Women, President Kathy Leśny-Evans. There is a Polish proverb, gość w dom, Bóg w dom. A guest in the house means God is in the house. With so many special guests present and so many attending virtually, it is only fitting to invite a good friend of the Polish Museum as well as its chaplain, the director of the Holy Trinity Polish Mission in Chicago, Father Andrzej Tocke, to give us a blessing and lead us in prayer. Father?
Niech będzie pochwalony Jezus Chrystus. Dzisiaj gromadzimy się tutaj w budynku Muzeum Polskiego, aby podziękować Panu Bogu za dar Jego obecności i błogosławieństwa na przestrzeni tych wielu lat. I dzisiaj prosimy, aby Pan Bóg nieustannie towarzyszył nam w tych wszystkich decyzjach, które podejmujemy w przyszłości, aby to miejsce, tak jak do tej pory, było centrum zdobywania wiedzy o Polsce, było też miejscem, gdzie następne pokolenia będą mogły korzystać z tego bogactwa, które zostało tutaj zdeponowane. Dlatego pomódlmy się o to, aby Pan Bóg nam błogosławił i błogosławił wszystkie przedsięwzięcia podejmowane w tym miejscu. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together today for the 41st Annual Polish Museum of America Gala. Father, praise you for this event and your purpose for it. We know that when we gather together, you always have a plan, divine plan. We love you for that, Father. That even when we have done what you have asked, the results are so much greater than we could ever imagine. Our prayer today is that your will be done through this gala. Take what we have prepared and multiply our efforts as only you can. Direct our intentions to support with your righteous will. May you bestow your guidance and blessing on this gala so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance of our lives. Bless all who are present here today and all who have joined us virtually. Grant good health and safety to loved ones, peace and goodwill to all people. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. God bless you. Szczęść Boże.
We are very pleased to welcome the new Consul of the Republic of Poland in Chicago, Agata Grochowska, who will read as special messages from the members of the Polish government. The entire letters for you to read are available in our Gala book, as well as on the PMA website. This is Consul Grochowska's first visit to our museum, and we invite her to come visit us as often as she would like. Consul Grochowska.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for invitation. Dzień dobry Państwu, dziękuję za zaproszenie. Chciałabym przeczytać fragment listu pana ministra Adama Kwiatkowskiego z Kancelarii Prezydenta, a następnie fragment listu pani konsul Małgorzaty Bąk. Szanowny Panie Prezesie, Szanowna Pani Dyrektor, drodzy rodacy, Szanowni Państwo. Serdecznie pozdrawiam wszystkich gości przybyłych na 41. galę Muzeum Polskiego w Ameryce w Chicago, upamiętniającą 80-lecie śmierci Ignacego Jana Paderewskiego. Bardzo się cieszę, że pomimo trudności związanych z obostrzeniami epidemiologicznymi po roku przerwy możecie się Państwo ponownie spotkać i kontynuować tę wyjątkową tradycję. Chciałbym Państwu podziękować za to, że przyczyniacie się do zachowania pamięci o zasłużonych, dzielnych synach narodu polskiego, która jest tutaj w Stanach Zjednoczonych wciąż żywa. Dzięki zaangażowaniu wielu osób w działalność tego najstarszego i największego muzeum etnicznego w USA, którego misją jest pielęgnowanie polskiego dziedzictwa narodowego, nasi rodacy, szczególnie dzieci i młodzież polskiego pochodzenia urodzona na ojczyźnie, mają możliwość zapoznania się z polską historią, kulturą i sztuką. Dziękuję Państwu za patriotyczną postawę oraz niestrudzoną pracę na rzecz podtrzymywania więzi Polonii amerykańskiej z rodziną. W imieniu prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, pana Andrzeja Dudy oraz własnym raz jeszcze dziękuję Państwu za trwanie przy polskości, popularyzowanie polskiej kultury oraz promowanie dobrego imienia Polski i Polaków. Życzę Państwu pomyślności oraz wielu sukcesów w życiu zawodowym i prywatnym. Z wyrazami szacunku, Adam Kwiatkowski. A teraz fragment drugiego listu od pani konsul Małgorzaty Bąk. Szanowny Panie Prezesie, Szanowna Pani Dyrektor, drodzy rodacy, wolontariusze i przyjaciele Muzeum Polskiego w Ameryce. Od przeszło 80 lat Muzeum Polskie w Ameryce pełni rolę strażnika materialnych świadectw kultury i historii Polaków i Polski w Stanach Zjednoczonych. Zrozumiałym wyróżnieniem jest zatem przyznany w tym roku muzeum tytuł kustosza pamięci narodowej. Laur Instytutu Pamięci Narodowej złożono w ręce przedstawicieli placówki podczas gali w Zamku Królewskim w Warszawie. Doceniono szczególną rolę muzeum w upamiętnianiu historii narodu polskiego i jego znaczenie dla kolejnych pokoleń Polonii, jasno pokazując, że za unikalny charakter placówki odpowiadają przede wszystkim tworzący ją ludzie. Słowa głębokiego uznania kieruję zarówno do kierownictwa muzeum, jak i do wolontariuszy, darczyńców oraz przyjaciół muzeum. To dzięki Państwu w tak trudnym dla nas wszystkich okresie nie gaśnie ani na chwilę aktywność placówki i stale przyjmowane są nowe inicjatywy służące kultywowaniu i popularyzowaniu polskiego dorobku kulturowego, a także umacnianiu relacji polsko-amerykańskich, za co z serca dziękuję. Z wyrazami szacunku Małgorzata Bąk-Guzik, konsul RP. Chciałam jeszcze tylko dodać, że są jeszcze dwa listy. Pierwszy od pana Piotra Glińskiego, wicepremiera i ministra kultury i dziedzictwa narodowego i sportu, oraz drugi list od pana Piotra Wilczka, ambasadora Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej w Waszyngtonie. Oba listy będą dostępne w publikacji okolicznościowej oraz na stronie internetowej Muzeum Polskiego w Ameryce. Dziękuję Państwu.
Thank you, Konsul Grochowska. Dziękujemy Pani Konsul. This year we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Paderewski Room, one of the most significant and important donations in the history of this institution. It is an honor to introduce you to a cousin of the maestro, Colin Jan Paderewski, the author of the book His Journey Home, which chronicles the legacy of Ignacy Jan Paderewski and the story of his close relatives bringing his body back to Poland. Unable to be with us tonight, Colin was gracious enough to send us a special video message.
Dzień dobry. My name is Colleen Jan Paderewski. I'm a cousin of Ignacy Jan Paderewski. and in 1992, my father, myself, and my children were accompanied by General Edward Rowney and President George W. Bush to return Ignacy's body to Poland. The Polish flag behind the bust of Paderewski in the Paderewski Room was used to drape Ignacy's coffin from Arlington Cemetery in Washington, D.C. to Warsaw, Poland. My father donated the flag with General Rowney, and they presented it to the Polish Museum of America. The Paderewski Room is a part of his history, his legacy, and what he did to obtain freedom for his beloved Poland. We are here tonight to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Paderewski Room. It is an honor for my family to be members of the Polish Museum of America. Dziękuję.
It was Colin Jan Paderewski, and there is another important message for everyone watching us online through the polishmuseumofamerica.org. If you are on Facebook, please switch to the museum's website. You will find there an icon, Donate Now, and the descriptions of the gift packages that you can purchase tonight, all of which are very attractive and unique. Let's see.
The Prime Minister. Donation level $1,000. Polish Puppies in a Wheat Field. Original oil painting by Patricia Stempniak. His Journey Home. A book autographed by the author Kalin Jan Paderewski. The Composer. Donation level $500. Coffee tea porcelain set with a puppy motif. Hand painted by Patricia Stempniak. The Pianist. Donation level $250. Polish Puppy. Reprint of the painting by Patricia Stempniak. The Philanthropist. Donation level $80. Paderewski. A book by Adam Zamoyski. Coffee mug with the PMA logo. All of the gift packages include the Paderewski Room of the PMA, a publication, PMA face masks, guest passes to the PMA.
You can also become a donor right now by clicking the Donate button on the museum's webpage. I strongly encourage you to do so. And now it is my pleasure to introduce and ask to the podium Richard Owsiany. Known to many of us in the Polish-American community as a dynamic leader, Mr. Owsiany has been involved with the museum for many years and is currently serving his third term as the PMA president. Mr. Owsiany.
Good evening, and welcome to the Polish Museum of America and the 41st Annual Gala, streaming live from the Sabina Logisz Great Hall. You know, the past year has certainly been challenging for all cultural institutions. But even as difficult as it was, and it still is, the challenge taught us how to move the Polish Museum forward and continue our mission in preserving the past to benefit the future. As you will see throughout tonight's presentations, the PMA is a thriving institution that is the cultural center of Polonia. This certainly would not have been possible without the financial support of our donors and our partner, the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. With this support, the PMA was able to make space improvements, conserve our artifacts and collections, as well as digitalize a vast majority of what you find here in the museum. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Vice Premier and Minister Piotr Gliński and the Ministry of Culture, National Heritage, and Sports for their financial support, which enabled the museum to continue its work in 2020 and in 2021. I also want to thank our anonymous donor who challenged us in this year's appeal with a matching donation of $50,000. I am very happy to announce that our PMA appeal donors matched that $50,000, and our anonymous donor presented us a check this week with $50,000. The challenge match is in memory of PMA Life members Jack and Dorothy Radgowski. To all our donors and sponsors who support the PMA throughout the year and at tonight's gala, thank you, and Bóg zapłać. Every gala has a cultural or historical theme tied to an exhibit that is honored. Tonight, we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the opening of the Paderewski Room. The Paderewski Room is one of the most important exhibits found in the museum. With tenacity and emotion, Mieczysław Hyman, the PMA's first curator, was able to convince Antonina Wilkońska, Paderewski's sister, to donate her brother's personal and historical artifacts and mementos and possessions to the PMA for a permanent exhibit dedicated to Paderewski. On October 10th, almost to the day, we're almost there to the day, on October 10th, 1941, possession of Paderewski's items were formally conveyed to the PMA. Unfortunately, Antonina was not able to see the exhibit at the PMA. 4 days earlier, she had passed away. The result of the donation, as well as the acquisition of artifacts and exhibits from the Polish Pavilion at the 1939 World's Fair, expanded the PMA's occupancy in the building by moving exhibits into the Great Hall. The Paderewski Room, which was the original museum space, has changed over these 80 years. In 2009, the PMA undertook extensive renovation and created a first-class exhibit in tribute to Ignacy Paderewski. So tonight, as we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the opening, let us start by taking a tour of the Paderewski Room.
And now let's move back in time for a moment. It was Monday, November 3rd, 1941, when, just as today, many honorable guests arrived at the Great Hall of the PRCUA building for the grand opening of the exhibition of artifacts from the last days of Paderewski's life. Antonina Wilkońska, Paderewski's sister, the main donor of the exhibition, did not live to see the opening of the Paderewski room, as she died on October 6, 1941, 3 months after the death of her brother. On October 10 of the same year, the executors of her will and former secretaries of Paderewski, Consul Sylwin Strakacza and Ignacy Kołupajło, signed the deed, donating the collection of Paderewski's memorabilia. Tonight, 80 years later, Antonina visits the museum, sharing with us memories of her brother.
Memories. So many memories in these four walls. At his last days, I would look after him, just as I did when he was a little boy. Ignash was never shy of letting know his pleasure or displeasure. When things were going his way, it was, Antosiu, Antoshenko, how good you are. However, when he was displeased, oh, it was, Antonino, how could you? The beauty of our Polish language. I must say that I am quite pleased with myself for having gifted these relics, these artifacts, this furniture of his last place of residence, which was the Buckingham Hotel in New York, to the Polish Museum in Chicago. Most appropriate, I think. Ignacy always thought of Chicago as a welcoming home, as I do of the Polish Museum. This was our addiction. Yes, we would unwind before retiring for the day. It was much more my addiction than his. You know, my brother Ignacy was very generous. Generous, not only in word, but in deed. When he would return from his European or American tourneys, he would bring presents, souvenirs, mementos for family and friends. Ignash was like Saint Nicholas. This was his last present to me. This Irish shawl was purchased in London while he was working on the film The Moonlight Sonata. Wasn't he marvelous in that motion picture? But between the two of us, it was a monumental effort on his part, but worth it. After we're all gone, generations will be fascinated with the musical genius of Ignacy Jan Paderewski.
Transitioning from Paderewski's performance of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata to the present was Yusef El Yakin, a pianist from the Paderewski Symphony Orchestra. His rendering of Paderewski's Minuet in G was an exciting tribute to the composer and a testimony to his own talent. Yusef first played at the PMA's Great Hall many years ago when he was just a child, participating in many competitions and activities, including those hosted by the PMA. Yusef is a prime example of the benefits of art, music, and the Polish Museum of America. Doesn't he remind you of a young, hardworking Ignacy Jan Paderewski? Thank you, Yusef. Thank you. Just prior to his live performance, we had the pleasure of witnessing a brilliant performance of Barbara Kożuchowska playing the role, or should I say, spirit of Antonina Wilkońska-Paderewska. Thank you, Pani Basiu, for bringing Paderewski and his sister back to life for just a brief moment. And now, please let me remind you of the gift packages that you can purchase during our live streaming and the rebroadcast of the program on Polvision channel 25.2, planned for this Monday, October 11th at 9:45 p.m. If you would like to make a donation, please visit the museum's website, polishmuseumofamerica.org. There are 4 different PMA gift packages and 4 different donation levels. Let's see.
The Prime Minister. Donation level $1,000. Polish Puppies in a Wheat Field. Original oil painting by Patricia Stempniak. His Journey Home. A book autographed by the author Kalin Jan Paderewski. The Composer. Donation level $500. Coffee tea porcelain set with a puppy motif. Hand painted by Patricia Stempniak. The Pianist. Donation level $250. Polish Puppy. Reprint of the painting by Patricia Stempniak. The Philanthropist. Donation level $80. Paderewski. A book by Adam Zamoyski. Coffee mug with the PMA logo. All of the gift packages include the Paderewski Room of the PMA, a publication, PMA face masks, guest passes to the PMA.
And now I would like to ask Gala Chair Michelin Jamiński to join me for the next part of the Gala program in presenting the future of Polonia.
It is the youth who is the future of each and every community. For the Polish-American community, it is no different. It is for the youth and for generations to come that the museum continues its mission of preserving both the Polish heritage and its history. The young people presented this evening are first or second generation Polish Americans who, in addition to study and work, devote their free time to cultivating their rich Polish heritage, as well as their talents, as we have just seen. Polish culture, history, and traditions are extremely important to them, and by becoming actively involved in Polonian organizations, they ensure the Polish spirit. It is our pleasure to introduce to you the future of Polonia.
From the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, 2020 Cinderella, Karolina Gal, and Prince Charming, Artur Rykała.
The Queen of the 2021 May 3rd Polish Constitution Day Parade, representing the Alliance of Polish Clubs, Paulina Kosińska, escorted by Piotr Lachowicz.
Representing the Legion of Young Polish Women, 2020 Queen of the Red and White Ball, Mija Inklodon, escorted by Filip Ogórek.
'21 Queen of the Polish Highlanders Alliance of North America, Joanna Chlebek and Zbójnik Łukasz Kaczmarczyk.
Representing the Polish National Alliance, from the iconic Polish folk dance group, Natalia Kowalski and Jakub Parzygnat.
Representing the Polish National Alliance from the Vichy Song and Dance Theater, Marlena Hadas and Michał Wyczesany. Maestro, please, a waltz.
Thank you for such a beautiful presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the Antoni Kowalkowski Trio, who prepared the musical setting for this evening. Thank you, gentlemen. We will hear from you again shortly. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce you to a person who has dedicated the last 27 years of her life to this institution. Once a librarian, later the director of the library, and for the last 7 years, the managing director of the entire museum. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Małgorzata Kot, the heart of the Polish Museum of America.
I'm touched by it. Thank you. Dziękuję, Elżuniu. Dobry wieczór Państwu. Jestem bardzo wzruszona tymi słowami. I'm touched by them. In this particular hall, the great hall of the Polish Museum of America, I was able to walk through the hall with Sabina Feliksa-Logisz, who was my mentor for 9 years. The whole my life in the United States happened with Museum Connection. I'm surrounded by wonderful people, all of you here, who are our friends, supporters, helpers, volunteers, advisors on personal and metaphysical and also on international level. And I'm truly grateful to be here and to serve you. And I thank you very much for this opportunity. Museum is a special mechanism and as a special family. Not only archives, library, museum itself, we have different collections and we do serve people every day. And we are very happy that we are open 3 days a week and we are able to see you in person tonight and on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Thank you.
Małgosiu, PMA is a very, very busy place. Could you tell us more about what happens here on daily basis?
Not only cataloging, collecting, receiving donations, but also conserving, and we are very happy to have a cooperation with Polonika Institute in Poland and with private donors who are supporting our conservation projects. More than 60 works are conserved right now. Thanks to the grants, we are able to produce programs like tonight's or programs like we have on YouTube. And by the way, please share the feed if you are anywhere online. Just let other people see us. And thanks to it, we are able to be busy. My very talented colleagues, Pani Basiu, Szapoba, thank you very much for cooperation, and I'm very happy that my dreams came true. Józio played, and he was Paderewski, and I'm thankful for it.
Today's gala is the main fundraiser for the PMA, during which we can appeal for donations. What are the main needs of this institution? How will you use the funds that we will collect tonight?
We have talented staff, and I admire every single one of them. We do have resources. What we need to have is the support, and we thank you for the support that you are granting for us. We have cooperation with the Ministry of Culture, Heritage and Sport. We have a cooperation with the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, and that's grants. But grants are coming and going. We apply for them, and they are passing. But the funds that we are able to gather tonight will be for support in next year, 2022. And thanks to all of you who are supporting us daily, we are able to survive, and Polish Museum is claimed to be our home in the United States.
And now, please, if you could introduce Halina Misterka.
I will be more than grateful for you to see my talented colleague and friend, Halina Misterka, who will tell us what and how the Paderewski collection came to the Paderewski room at the Polish Museum. Thank you again. Thank you, wonderful Michał Jamiński and the whole crew of the Summer Gala for preparing this dream come true. Z serca Bóg zapłać.
Znajdujemy się w pierwszej sali muzealnej, która 12 stycznia 1937 roku otwarta została w budynku Zjednoczenia Polskiego Rzymskokatolickiego jako Archiwum i Muzeum Zjednoczenia. Tu właśnie w 1941 roku trafia również kolekcja Ignacego Jana Paderewskiego. Pamiątki po Ignacym Janie Paderewskim trafiły do nas 10 października 1941 roku, na kilka miesięcy po śmierci mistrza w Nowym Jorku w hotelu Buckingham. Darczyńcą była jego siostra Antonina Wilkońska-Paderewska, która wespół z jego sekretarzami Strakaczem i Kołupajłą zdecydowała się złożyć ten przepiękny dar do naszej kolekcji. Wszystko zapisane jest w kontrakcie, z którego bardzo szczegółowo wywiązywał się Mieczysław Hajman. Pod podpowiedzi Kołupajły, sekretarza Paderewskiego, Mieczysław Hajman przygotował rozkład pokojów. Cały apartament w hotelu Buckingham składał się z dwóch pokoi i tutaj rozrysowany jest rozkład pokoju. Dzięki temu można było je w sposób odpowiedni ustawić. Na uroczystość otwarcia wystawy Ignacego Jana Paderewskiego w pierwszym pokoju muzealnym przybyło wielu gości, o czym świadczy ta gablota i wystawione tutaj zdjęcia. Zachowała się również pamiątkowa księga wpisów gości, a data opiewa na 3 listopada 1941 roku, bo dokładnie wtedy otworzyliśmy ten przepiękny pokój wraz z jego kolekcją. Jak informuje tablica, która jest z nami od początku, wedle życzenia ofiarodawców zwiedzający proszeni są o datki na fundusz Paderewskiego przy Radzie Polonii Amerykańskiej. I tak też w notatkach Mieczysława Hajmana zachowały się niewielkie kwoty, które poszczególni goście odwiedzający składali na potrzeby Rady Polonii Amerykańskiej, a tym samym na potrzeby Polaków głodujących w tym czasie, w czasie II wojny światowej. Antonina Wilkońska sporymi kwotami finansowymi wykupiła meble i wszystkie przedmioty, które znajdowały się w hotelu Buckingham, w którym zmarł Ignacy Jan Paderewski. Na początku ta kolekcja została wystawiona w Nowym Jorku. Około września miała trafić do naszego muzeum. Tak się też stało. Niestety w międzyczasie, 3 miesiące po śmierci Paderewskiego, odeszła również Antonina Wilkońska. Proszę, to są wszystko zbiegi okoliczności, ale proszę sobie wyobrazić, jak ważna była ta decyzja, aby wkrótce po śmierci Paderewskiego darować do naszego muzeum pamiątki świadczące o ostatnim roku życia Ignacego Jana Paderewskiego.
Please note that more movies about the PMA and its mission, including the full video describing the history of the donation of Paderewski's memorabilia, are available on the museum's website and YouTube channel. And now, back to another musical interlude by the great Antoni Kowalkowski Trio. Mr. Kowalkowski is a PMA member and has collaborated with the museum on numerous occasions for many years. This very well-known, talented musician is the leader of the Kowalkowski Orchestra and the Kowalkowski Trio, which also features the musical talents of Russell Stern on piano and Jack Sandstrom on the string bass. It is a tradition that every year during the PMA Gala, Polish Spirit Awards are presented, one to an organization and one to a person. This year, the awards will be presented by PMA President Richard Owsiany and PMA Board Chairman and PRCA President James Robaczewski. Gentlemen.
The Polish Spirit Award is given in recognition of the commitment of an individual or organization in promulgating Polish and Polish-American heritage, culture, community, as well as supporting the Polish Museum of America and preserving the past to benefit the future. Since 1987, 39 awards have been bestowed upon deserving recipients. Since 2018, recipients in both categories are recognized annually. This year, the Spirit Award to the organization is presented to the Józef Piłsudski Institute of America in recognition of their commitment to American Polonia in promulgating Polish and Polish-American heritage, culture, and community, as well as supporting the Polish Museum of America in its mission.
Instytut Józefa Piłsudskiego w Ameryce. Miejsce, gdzie można dotknąć historii. To miejsce, gdzie można zobaczyć, poznać wspaniałych ludzi okresu II Rzeczpospolitej i emigracji.
Jest to placówka polska na terenie Stanów Zjednoczonych, która jest jednocześnie też kuźnią myśli humanistycznej, a także znakomitym punktem edukującym. Warto tu przyjść i wiele osób może uzyskać u źródła najpotrzebniejsze informacje, a także informacje dodatkowe dotyczące także współczesnej Polski.
Obecnie zbiory Instytutu liczą 1 000 000 dokumentów archiwalnych, ponad 20 000 książek w bibliotece, wyjątkową kolekcję obrazów, ponad 200 wspaniałych dzieł.
Duża część naszych kolekcji już jest zdigitalizowana, a więc to znaczy, że dokumenty są zeskanowane, opisane i włożone na naszą stronę internetową. Zdigitalizowaliśmy również całą kolekcję dokumentów, które dotyczą okresu kształtowania się II Rzeczpospolitej. W tym najcenniejszy nasz eksponat jest to rozkaz do Bitwy Warszawskiej.
Instytut Pamięci Narodowej, współpracując z Instytutem Piłsudskiego, od 2010 roku, to już jest kawałek historii, cały czas dba o to, żeby materiały przepływały między naszymi instytutami.
Instytut Józefa Piłsudskiego od wielu lat zaprasza wszystkich chętnych na lekcje historii dla dzieci i młodzieży polonijnej, a od kilku lat postanowiliśmy poszerzyć swoją ofertę, dotrzeć do młodego odbiorcy. Stąd w Instytucie pojawił się pomysł na zorganizowanie warsztatów edukacyjnych dla najmłodszych oraz warsztatów artystycznych.
Dzięki Instytutowi Józefa Piłsudskiego wygrywam konkursy historyczne w stanie Nowy Jork.
Przez pracę w Instytucie nie tylko przybliżyłem się do mojej historii, ale także pomoże to mi w rekrutacji na studia. Jako wolontariusz w Instytucie biorę udział też w spotkaniach, na przykład w spotkaniu z panem Mieczysławem Madejskim, w którym odpowiadał o swoich wspomnieniach z Powstania Warszawskiego.
Bez zbiorów Instytutu Piłsudskiego ciężko badać historię Polski ze względu na to, że tutaj znajduje się duża część materiałów niedostępnych w archiwach krajowych.
Instytut jest organizacją niedochodową, utrzymuje się z darowizn, składek członkowskich i stara się o granty zewnętrzne. Każdy może zostać członkiem Instytutu i włączyć się w wolontariat. Zapraszamy serdecznie.
You know, the Institute, Józef Piłsudski Institute, is located in New York in Greenpoint, and they are very close to the Polish Museum of America. They are partners in the Museums, Archives, and Libraries Conference that takes place annually throughout Western Europe and was in the United States several years ago. There are partners who assist us with their foundation in Poland for us to enable us to receive grants, and we are eternally grateful to the Institute for helping us get those grants. Unfortunately, a representative who was supposed to be here tonight from New York could not make it. He became ill, But we do have a message from the president of the Institute, Iwona Korga.
Good evening. My name is Iwona Korga, and I am the president of the Piłsudski Institute of America. I'm joining you from New York City. I am very sorry that we cannot be present at today's gala. I would like to thank board members of the Polish Museum of America for awarding our organization with Polish Spirit Award. I can promise you that we will continue our work to preserve Polonia past for future generations. I am very happy that we have such good friends in Chicago. Together we can do more. Bardzo dziękuję i serdecznie pozdrawiam.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present the 2021 Spirit Award to the Institute, Józef Piłsudski Institute of America. We will make sure that the statuette is delivered to New York, and I'm positive that President Korga will display that prominently in their headquarters in Greenpoint. Now I'd like to turn over the mic to my partner at the museum, our chairman of the board, James Roboczewski, for the next Spirit Award presentation.
Good evening. My job tonight is to introduce the recipient of this year's Polish Museum of America Spirit Award, to Mr. Frank Spula. Frank has been active in Polonia, both locally and nationally, for over 3 decades. He is the president and chief executive officer of the Polish National Alliance, as well as the national president of the Polish American Congress. As you know, Frank is a native of Chicago. He grew up just a few blocks from the Polish Roman Catholic Union and PMA building. He is a lifelong member of the PRCOA and the PNA. In his youth, he played accordion in the PRCOA District 7 dance school recitals. He is a graduate of Gordon Technical High School and DePaul University. Frank continues his passion for learning by completing courses through LOMA, an insurance educational platform, and has achieved the designation of FLMI, which is the Fellowship of Life Management Institute. He has been active in his community by being part of the 21st Century Commission, the Turnaround School Commission, and was a member of the advisory board of the Bishop Abramovich Seminary. He currently serves as a director of the Edgebrook-Saguenay Chamber of Commerce and remains active in different charitable and religious groups and is always available to support the Polish Museum of America. For someone who seems in constant motion, Frank enjoys fine dining, classic cars, and jazz music, as well as spending time with family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce my friend, Frank Spula. Yeah.
Do we give it now or later?
We'll give it now. We'll give it now.
Okay.
Take a picture.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Reverend Father, Madam Council, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, board members, Madam Director, and ladies and gentlemen. Really being here this evening and hearing the introduction of Mr. Roboczewski, it brings back many memories. And he's correct what he said. I started here at the Polish Roman Catholic Union every Saturday, and sometimes I really detested to be here. It was early in the morning, it was for hours, but we did that for many years. And I guess that's really what brings me back to the Polish community more than anything else, because of the beginnings, early beginnings. I'd like to thank you for your recognition this evening, especially that it's taking place in this beautiful historic museum, this magnificent room, especially during Polish Heritage Month. I am truly honored to receive this Spirit Award today and be placed in the distinguished rank of past honorees, some of them who I've gotten to know over the years, all of them who have actually contributed to the community, which is very important. I salute the young people that were here today before the program. Congratulations, and it's very important that you get involved in the community to continue that spirit. I also want to extend my best wishes to the Pilsudski Institute, who has been part of our community for decades. Congratulations to the president and their staff. Since Polish American Heritage Month is observed, I've been involved in many celebrations. And I'm glad to see that we have so many successes within our community and so many accomplished individuals. I'm glad to share this experience with you tonight, especially being so meaningful. As I was actually reflecting for the first time when I was in this museum, it was exciting, as I mentioned before, to come here. And you know, I played the accordion, my brother played the trumpet, and I remember one of the instructors taking us through a tour of the museum. She took us on a tour, going through the various artifacts, and you know, you're just awed as a little kid by looking at some of these. Today, as an adult, I can appreciate its historical and cultural value. The museum is like no other place in this country. It's the heart of the Polish culture in America. It's the crown jewel, as was mentioned earlier, and it serves as a symbol of our community and the many accomplishments that we've attained. I was born in Chicago, as Mr. Robaczewski said, but Poland was always part of my life. I was always involved in the Polish community, whether in high school or in college, and thanks to my parents. And little did I know that through my professional career, I would be so submerged in so many Polish causes. Never knew that. As I mentioned, I learned the value of hard work and the Polish culture from my parents. Education and pride in our community was always stressed at home, with the flags, Polish and American, out the windows at appropriate holidays. I've also been blessed over the years in many ways with supportive and amazing people that I've worked with within many organizations. I would not be here today without their support and encouragement. The Spirit Award is very meaningful to me. And I want to say again how grateful I am to receive it. I will continue working in the Polish community in Chicago and hope to see more and more Polish Americans involved in the cultural, political, and social undertakings. Again, I want to thank the President and the board for this distinguished honor and your commitment in maintaining this museum. My greatest reward is being part of this community. Speaking of the community, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Cancer affects our families, friends, and members in our community. Fortunately, in this day and age, we have resources and accomplishments of modern medicine on our side. Let's get regular testing and try to live a healthy lifestyle. Again, thank you, dziękuję bardzo. Having this opportunity that I'm at the podium, I would like to make a personal contribution to the museum this evening, and I promise to continue being involved and keep up the Polish spirit. God bless you all, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Spula, for that wonderful surprise. And it's a nice segue to our next part of the program. You know, as we've been talking through the evening and as Ella has been mentioning throughout the evening, you know, we're seeking your assistance in making sure that the Polish Museum moves forward and is here in 5, 10, 20, 30, 100 years. That's not possible without the support of our friends, our supporters, our donors, the business community, the charitable community. Without those and individuals, without that support, none of this, what you see in this room and other parts of this museum, would be possible. The donations that we do receive this year, as was mentioned earlier by Managing Director Małgorzata Kot, will be used starting in 2022 to help us defray the costs of running the museum. In order to make sure that the museum exists, we rely on your help. We're grateful for all donations, no matter how big they are, whether it's $10, $100, $10,000. Every single dollar matters to us, and we are thankful for that. Bóg zapłać to all of you for that support. And now I'd like to introduce someone who I think everybody here in the audience recognizes and knows, who's been a activist in the Polish-American community since she was a teenager. She is my predecessor. She mentored me into this role as president of the museum. She is an amazing woman. She's a cancer survivor. She's a wonderful mother, a wonderful wife, and a wonderful grandmother. But to us, she's also a great, great person. Ladies and gentlemen, Maria Cieśla will introduce all our Biały Kruk donors for 2021 and above.
I hope I can live up to that, Richard. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be part of this beautiful evening, and isn't it a beautiful evening? The PMA would like to express its heartfelt appreciation to all its generous donors who give throughout the entire year. Without them, the PMA would not be able to fulfill its mission of safeguarding Polish and Polish-American history and artifacts. Additional thanks go to a generous, anonymous PMA supporter who graciously committed a $50,000 matching donation, which was swiftly met. And this is to quote Joseph A. Drobot, who was PMA chairman in 1979. And this is sort of the tagline or the signature that the museum uses at all its galas. A museum of the dimensions and scope of the Polish Museum of America cannot be the operation or concern of one individual. The PMA is grateful to the following donors who chose to support the traditional gala appeal. The Red Poppy category, in memory of Jack and Dorothy Radgowski, Brenda Bruce and Dr. Alvin M. Fountain II of the Ignacy Jan Paderewski Piano Festival of Raleigh, South Carolina, Deborah Greenlee of Texas, and I am naming some states to show you we're not just local, Jamie and Stephen Kuzmierczak from Michigan, Polish and Slavic Federal Credit Union, the White Poppy, Victoria Granacki, Jeffrey Pakula, the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America, the godfathers and godmothers of the PMA, the Ryan family of New York, the Dean Umiński family, and Betty Uzarowicz. Pink Poppy, D. E. Hinger Blicharski, the Legion of Young Polish Women, Bożena Nowicka-McLeese and John A. McLeese, Doctors Anna and Richard Paré from Georgia, the Polish Arts Club of Chicago, the Polish National Alliance of the U.S. of North America, Stanisława Zawadzynska, and our Biały Kruk level, the Advocates Society, Anonymous, Chester J. Barbaszewicz of Wisconsin, the Chicago Society Foundation, Richard and Maria Bronni Cieśla, Virginia M. Cudecki, Andrew and Bożena Haślakiewicz, Agnieszka and Marek Kowalczyk, the Kościuszko Foundation, Dr. Cornelia Krull, Women for Women OB-GYN SC, John J. Kulczycki, the Lamecha family, Mark and Barbara Lewandowski from Michigan, Carlene S. and Jan M. Lorish, Conrad J. and Ivona M. Lowell, Thaddeus J. Makarewicz, Dorota and Piotr Nowobilski from Texas, Wallace and Joanne Ozog from Michigan, Małgorzata Palka in memory of her daughter Justina Palka, Cynthia and Robert Piech, the Polish Teachers Association in America, Anna Sokołowski, Reverend Raphael Stetz and parishioners of St. Daniel the Prophet Parish, Stupkevich and Wojnowski families, Antoinette Trella and John Schoen, Mr. and Mrs. Donald V. Verson Sr. and family, Mary Varhol, and Margaret H. Zalewski. So let's give all our major donors a big hand.
Thank you, Mrs. Maria Cieśla. And for the last time this evening, I would like to once again appeal to your generosity and direct you to the PMA website, where you can support the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and the Polish Museum of America by purchasing our unique and beautiful gift packages.
The Prime Minister. Donation level $1,000. Polish Poppies in a Wheat Field. Original oil painting by Patricia Stempniak. His Journey Home. A book autographed by the author Kalin Jan Paderewski. The Composer. Donation level $500. Coffee tea porcelain set with a poppy motif. Hand painted by Patricia Stempniak. The Pianist. Donation level $250. Polish Poppy. Reprint of the painting by Patricia Stempniak. The Philanthropist. Donation level $80. Paderewski. A book by Adam Zamoyski. Coffee mug with the PMA logo. All of the gift packages include the Paderewski Room of the PMA, a publication, PMA face masks, guest passes to the PMA.
The PMA, once again, would like to express its heartfelt appreciation to all its sustaining contributors and generous donors. Without such donations, the PMA wouldn't be able to fulfill its mission of safeguarding Polish and Polish-American heritage. And now I would like to share with you one of the latest donations to the PMA.
On September 14, 2021, the Polish Museum of America received 4 original historical maps of Poland, dating between 1656 and 1799, from historian Tadeusz Gromada's personal collection. Professor Gromada, past president of PIASA, the Polish Institute of Arts and Sciences of America, received the maps from renowned Polish historian and founder of PIASA, Oskar Halecki. The maps were presented by PMA supporters Dr. Alvin M. Fontaine and his wife Brenda Bruce. In addition, Dr. Fontaine and his wife presented a check for $10,000 in the Red Poppy category for the 41st Annual PMA Virtual Gala. Since they were unable to be present tonight, they left a special video message.
So it is our great honor today, my wife's and my great honor, to be here in the Polish Museum, in the Paderewski room especially, with my wife seated at Paderewski's piano. And this is a marvelous time for her. She will be exalted for days, if I may say so. So my wife is a graduate of New England Conservatory of Music, and we met because of Chopin and Paderewski. So, Brenda?
It is such an honor for us to be in this room and to allow me to touch and play the piano that was Paderewski's. We adore Poland and the Polish Museum for sharing its history and its culture with all. We are sad that we cannot be with you, but we will be in Poland for the Chopin competition in Warsaw. So we are still with you in spirit and with you in the world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 41st annual gala is coming to a close. Before we do end this evening, we wanted to say a few thank yous to our supporters who have been with us through thick and thin, especially in these last 18 months. We are so grateful to everyone who made that donation and kept us going and going forward. I'd like to thank our staff, our wonderful staff, led by Małgorzata Kot, Managing Director, who day in and day out make sure that this place shines. And the examples of what you see in this room and you see throughout the museum, the work that the staff does on a daily basis is what makes this place the treasure of Polonia. I'd also like to thank our guests that came here this evening. Your support is very important to us. We also want to make sure that we keep this going into the future. You know, the museum tells a story, and that story is our story. It tells our triumphs, it tells our losses, it tells our strengths, and yes, our weaknesses. But that's what makes our community strong and makes our community what it is today. The Polish Museum of America plays an important role in that, as do many other organizations in Polonia, whether it's a dance group, whether it's Scouts, whether it's the Polish School, whether it's a fraternal, such as the PNA or the PRCUA, all play a very major role in making sure that Polonia is known and is never forgotten. But tonight we're here to toast and celebrate the Polish Museum of America, and more importantly, we're here to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the opening of the Paderewski Room. May I ask everybody to take a glass up as we toast another successful year, and may the future bring us nothing but joy, happiness, and much, much success. 100 lat niech żyje, żyje nam. 100 lat niech żyje, żyje nam. Jeszcze raz, niech żyje, żyje nam. Niech żyje nam. 100 lat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ella. Clean, 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 clean. Okay. To close out the gala, we ask everybody to join in to waltz on the dance floor. No, pójdziemy, chodźmy.
Thank you.